What's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Rundown. I'm your host, as always, Drew Johnson. Y'all hit that like button, hit that share button as you guys come on in. Get your popcorn ready. I got a long show for you guys tonight, man. I'll be doing a little bit of talking for sure, but as we get closer to this fall season, we got high school football, college, NFL, basketball. It's a lot of stuff that's coming up on the horizon that we're going to be breaking down. So, y'all make sure y'all tap in with your boy hitting that follow button. So let me go ahead and help y'all out real quick. Let me pull up the rundown rule. I'll go follow the rundown, man. Y'all do me a favor as y'all in here, y'all coming on in live. There we go. Let me share my screen real quick. All right, man. Y'all do me a favor. Made this thing about a month or so ago, but go over and follow the Rundown 102. That's what this show is, but this is the Twitter page for it that I have. So we got some content over there. Coach Carl White, they'll be on Winter Haven Boys will be on today. So y'all do me a favor, man. I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Hold on, was I even sharing it? There we go. I really appreciate it if you guys go over and follow the Rundown. So it's the Rundown 102. So as I say, get your chin straps ready, your helmets, your shoulder pads. It's about that time, you know what I mean? 7B7 over with. It's time for the clicking and clacking. So do me a favor, follow the Rundowns. I'm going to be expanding. Got some exclusive content I want to do throughout this football season. Just a lot in store. So it's been a long off season. I'll say that. Let me go ahead and talk about that a little bit before I give you guys a preview of the show. It has been a long off season, starting off in January for most of us. Shouts out to my DR7 and platform crew. We travel the country from throughout the first quarter of the year. You know what I mean? It's a good opportunity, as my brother Mark says, for early identification. You know what I mean? I'm a Florida boy, right? Ain't nothing better than Florida, but I enjoy going out to other regions and, evaluating different kids and meeting new people and seeing new coaches and whatnot and bringing it back home. You know what I mean? I'm a sponge of the game always. So I enjoy that first quarter of the year, traveling, flying out, seeing content throughout the country. It's a great time to spotlight the kids that's from the 14 and 15U ranks too, right? The early identification before they get to the high school. Obviously, we're going to be on the high school kids, some of the bigger names. But that period right there is a great opportunity to locate maybe some risers, as we say. So that's where it started. Transitioned over to the spring period. Always spring tour, right? Try to knock out a lot of Polk County schools, which I did. Get my eyes on some teams. Getting an outlook on what the season's going to look like, you know what I mean, before they really get rolling into the summer period. So the spring was good. Always bump my head throughout the spring period, man, because I do a lot of coverage, but as you know, man, the Wild Wild West in these day and age, the transfer portal is alive. So kids end up transferring and moving over. So, but it's always a good opportunity to chop it up with some coaches and see what they got. And then we move over, to the college camp period. Well, I'll say, shouts out to my brother, Coach BJ Hall, traveling, to these college campuses, meeting different coaches, personnel, seeing how they approach the game. Also, more kids from different regions, and different areas. So that's also a good opportunity, as my brother Larry likes to get out, for us to show boots on the ground, right? Kids have been working from throughout the offseason. They might have grew an inch or two. They might have put on 10 to 15 pounds. And they're ready to put it on showcase in front of some of these college coaches. So it's always good to get out to some camps throughout the summer period. And then they have some other showcases. But now we're here, to where we done got the media days wrapped up. We done seen a lot of these teams compete at some 7v7s, maybe some padded camps. So we got a picture of what things are going to look like. So, I'm only going to add on to it. I got something special for you guys tonight with Drew's Prospect Watch, a new segment that I'm adding. This thing has an umbrella, where I can dip off to different topics. So I'll be highlighting some prospects. I put out a tweet yesterday. I got a vision to where I want to do this. I definitely want to go down and highlight some hidden gems, some guys who I feel like really has a chance to play at the college level. But I also, want to take time to give the spotlight to the kids that's been showing love. So tonight will be, for the kids that like my post from yesterday, I'll be showing a lot of love to those guys. So man, let's go ahead and get into a preview. Before I dive into tonight's show, let's give a quick shout out to our sponsors. First up, man, my brother Lance Leggett, the Taste One Boiled Peanuts. I'll be passing these out a lot more throughout the fall season. And shouts out to Quench Hydration, man. Y'all use that code down there. They're scrolling down. You get 10% off your purchase. Real deal hydration products. And of course, if you protein, you build your muscle, you get right as we talk about nutrition and breakdown on this show. But all right, man, it's been a lot of talk, a lot of social media talk, man. But of course, I'm gonna start off things with our Drew's prospect watch. You know what I mean? Something new I want to do, a segment breakdown with some of the under the radar hidden gems, you know what I mean? Rising young bucks, some trench warriors. Got to give more, highlight to our trench guys too. So this is not a film study just yet, but it's just raw insight. And I break down some traits based on some evaluation that I've had, seeing these kids in person, evaluating their film. So for you parents, you student athletes, the coaches, gives an opportunity to get a spotlight on them. And even for some college coaches that might be tapping in, you know what I mean? They get a sneak peek on some kids that they can get on the radar or who already might be on the radar that gets a credible evaluation. So, and then next up, my favorite segment is Behind the Playbook, right? As we talk about these prospects, but we got to give a highlight to, especially in Florida, man, these coaches. And I like our coach said it, not just football coach, but all our coaches. But this is going to be spotlighting. This shows for our football coaches that are helping better, of course, student athletes, but more than that, man, they're creating the fathers. They're creating, the lawyers, the doctors, beyond the football field. They're creating the role models in our community. So it's always good to give back to the coaches that are, impacting our youth and give them the spotlight as well. So tonight, rolling on with, it's been a lot of talk in Polk County too, man, about the Blue Devils, right? We done seen some 77 stuff. We done seen some media day stuff, but I wish I would have seen Winter Haven at the 77 championship. So I got something special for y'all. I got Coach Carl White coming back on. He's entering his 4th season with the Blue Devils, man. He's going to dive into the foundation he's been building, him and staff over there, how this year's group is responding to the standard and the expectations they got over there, and why he believes Winter Haven is ready to take the next step forward, man. And, of course, him being a part of the Florida's Coalition, Florida's Pay Coalition, I want to have him expand on, as you guys see this Teddy Bridgewater stuff going around, talking about Florida coaches, what it means, to bring that full season. It's a lot that goes into it, so we'll get his perspective on that. All right, a long breakdown, but let's go ahead and get into this, man. Drew's prospect watch. I know you guys are waiting for this from our prospect, man, our parents as well. So, all right, like I said, this segment is built for the real ones, man, the grinders, the hidden gems, the players you might not hear about, but you're going to be hearing about on this show. So raw breakdown, no fluff, no favoritism, just real talk on real players. So I'm not breaking down every clip, every, film and stuff just yet, but I'm going to be expanding on some traits I see, as I said, watching these kids in person and looking at some film. So, all right. Without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into it. I'm starting off with my quarterbacks, man. As I said, this is for the kids that like my post that I put out last night. So I know, don't be going at my head. If I've missed you, tag yourself. Let's get this thing interactive. Tag yourself so I can have you on the next show if you're watching, But these are for the young men that like the post. So starting off, my 2026 quarterbacks, Ladarius Simmons. One of my guys, right? First sponsorship winner on this show. He's been tapped in, and I've been tapped in with him as well over the last couple of years. So I've been watching his confidence grow and develop. Shouts out to Pops. Got my eyes on him at a couple college camps throughout the offseason. We know he has the talent, right? He's moving over to Flagler Pond Coast, I believe. So he's taking advantage of the offseason. So his confidence is looking good. His mechanics is good. He has a strong arm as well, but I'm excited to see what he does this year. This is big time for his recruitment process. So Ladarius, wish you the best. Like I said, I know Pops watching. Go out and make it happen this year. Another 2026 quarterback is Ethan Browse at Bartow High School. Call him E9. He has the keys to the offense this season. I'm excited to see what he can do. Going through coaching changes, some stuff going on at Bartow, but the Polk County kids, they built for it. So I know, he's cool, calm, under pressure, but he's showing off a great touch. His arm looks a little bit stronger. His body's come together a little bit. I'm excited to see how he uses his legs. You know what I mean? Going back to my boy Blake Johnson. You know what I mean? You got some dual threat quarterbacks at Bartow the last couple of years that can extend some plays. So it's his time now. He's got some control. He's showing some flash. So go ahead and put it together, Enoch. You know what I mean? Show the doubters that you can make it happen. I know his pops is watching as well. So it's big time this year. Make it happen, baby. So that's my 2026s that like my post. Next up, I had 127 that like the post, man. That's Nick Dyer out of Cooper City. Coaches, I like this kid, man. Just go watch his film, right? He's surgical, but smooth feet, smooth release. One thing I noticed, he's got a great touch on the move. You know what I mean? Off platform type throws where he's scrolling out the pocket and delivering a deep ball on the run. So that's what I got from his film. You know what I mean? Steady kid. It's a few breakout games last year, but being a 2027 going to his junior year, this is the year, right, to separate yourself from your peers. So, Nick, go make it happen. I like your film. For the coach that's watching, under little, maybe it was about 6 foot, 5'11", 6 foot. You know what I mean? So it's got some decent size, but the athleticism is going to shine. And I said that off platform, being able to, the ball placement looks really good when I watch this film. So, shouts out to Nick. Moving on to a 2028 kid that liked the post, man. This is Marcus Stark. Well above the curve for a 2028 kid. Over 1,700 passing yards last year as a freshman at Spanish River. But he's another kid that's cool, calm in the pocket for a 2028. And, man, just cut on the film right now. Like, first thing that popped up was the deep balls, right? Blurs. Like, it was deep ball after deep ball. But, you know what I mean? Similar to him and Nick Dyer, they square their shoulders up. They can roll out the pocket if they need to. But Marcus was a stationary kid, can throw a nice deep ball, and had some big-time production numbers last year. So he's going into his sophomore year over at American Heritage now. Got some weapons over there, so I'm excited to see what he can do. Appreciate you for supporting young man. Go ahead and make it happen this year as well. So that's my quarterback spotlight. Obviously, there's many, many, many quarterbacks that's starting to blow in Florida. I hit that like, hit that post, you know what I mean? So I can go ahead and give y'all the spotlight. I'll be doing it anyway, but these are for the kids that did that. So, all right, next up, got a little some Polk County hidden gems, you know what I mean? From my local colleges, my Southeasterns, my Webbers, my Warners, the Kaisers, you know what I mean? And even my maybe some FIUs and FAUs, you know what I mean? So first off is Xavion Mitchell over at Kathleen High School, as I said. Seen him in the offseason. He won the running back MVP at SEU camp. Then he followed it up at 7v7 championship, you know what I mean? Showing off his smooth hands, his ability to catch out the backfield. Just the X factor, right? But he has some good speed, kind of a complete back. You know what I mean? I'm not sure how many edges, if he can block some of these big-time edges coming out the backfield, that'll be, you know what I mean, young man, to make yourself a 3-down back. Make sure you stay in that weight room. So, but he's a solid back for some of you college coaches that's watching that can make some plays. I'm excited to see what he can do. I'm not too familiar with Kathleen's trenches, but two more Kathleen weapons that they'll have is another one's Rashard Kelly, man. This kid right here, speedster, runs a 4.4, good body control, vertical threat. You know what I mean? He's still developing physically, as I say, you know what I mean? Young man, make sure you stay in the weight room. He's a 2027 kid, but the more touches he gets, the better he looks, right? So I'm excited to see what he can do along with X and this kid too, man, Marcus Bankston. A slot nightmare, you know what I mean? Quick twitch, a good burst, you know what I mean? Just savvy in space, you know what I mean? He has the potential to be a volume production guy this year, along with Rashard Kelly with X out the backfield. And they got Ashton Frazier over at quarterback. So, man, if you Kathleen, dog, I mean, as I say, Polk County, man, you got to kind of be from Polk County to understand the history of Kathleen, you know what I mean? With the Ray Lewises and whatnot, the wrestling they had, the baseball, even the football, like, it's one of those high schools, you know what I mean, that don't have the most resources, but, man, they get some community, they get some culture, get some spirit going on campus. They tough, you know what I mean? They're real blue-collar hard to deal with. So, shouts out to Coach Kenny Kelly and crew. I know he's trying to build something over there, so we wish them the best. That's the Kathleen boys right there. Some other underrated dogs for you college coaches. Moving on to Fort Meade. 7v7 champions, you know what I mean? Dog, they won a state championship last year in Rural, and then they come over and win a 7v7 championship. You know what I mean? It's in T-shirts and shirts and shorts, but you know what I mean? They made it happen. And it was from under the radar kids like this who like the post. And that was Jesse Mitchell, a 6'3" kid. Me and Landland, shouts out to Polkway 863. We talked about this kid on the show a couple days ago, man, or last week. Dog, if there's a wide receiver trainer local My guy Mark, you know what I mean, does a great job moving back and forth from Texas and whatnot. But man, you grab a couple of these kids like this, the Andrew Morrison kid at VCA, Jesse Mitchell, like these kids are raw, but they got unlimited, untapped potential. You know what I mean? So he got some smooth hands, could be a red zone threat, you know what I mean? Deep ball threat for sure. But man, I'm excited to see what he can do against some of these smaller DBs, creating a mismatch. You know what I mean? Joshua Porter, Ryan Screen, Fort Meade's going to keep some receivers. So another one is Caden Clark, offered by Miami, Ohio for a reason. Guys, this kid tracks the deep ball well, plays through contact. He's more than just a possession guy. You know what I mean? He's got some real wiggle on him, some vertical speed. You know what I mean? So Caden Clark's another X factor type kid over at Fort Meade that doesn't get the most love, but college coaches are paying attention. Another one, I got two more for Fort Meade, and that's Kamar Gilmartin. Dog, everywhere on the field. We talk about that 77 championship. This kid was Jaden McCutcheon's best friend. The McCutcheon kid is back over there at Fort Meade, and this was a go-to guy for him besides Amari Russell, right? The big time for Polk County. But this kid, Kamar Gilmartin, is an underrated underdog, you know what I mean, that can be a production piece on either side of the ball, return game, just an impact type kid. So I like what he brought to that offense. And another last under the radar guy for Fort Meade that liked the post is a chess piece, you know what I mean? That's Davion Borders. Doesn't get the most love, you know what I mean? But a real DB traits, you know what I mean? He's a good tackler as well, communicator, high IQ kid. So I like Davion Borders, slept on, you know what I mean, ball hawk type kid. So, all right, that's my under the radar guys that like the post that got potential to play at some of those schools that I mentioned. So, all right. I got some real deal Polk breakouts for you guys. Another Polk County, a lot of Polk County kids that like to post, of course, but these are three real deal ones. And that's number one. I know Pops is watching, man. About 6'3", 240. I told him he looks like damn G.I. Joe character, but he done added some more muscles. And that's Drew Sapp. You know what I mean? Man, this kid continues to add on to the nightmare. This kid's gonna be a nightmare for some of you offensive tackles, but it's the technique, right? The frame's already there, but now it's putting the full package together. The reps coming off the edge. He's been putting in the work this all season with the trench guys. You know what I mean? Working his hands, working his quick bursts, his different ways to attack the quarterback. So, man, this kid might be the next big name. We talk about some of these Power 5 guys, these Santana Harveys and whatnot. Drew Sapp, man, coaches circle him. I know Landon's high on him as well, so he's got a big opportunity this year for his recruitment. He's coming up throughout the offseason at some of these camps. You know, John Garcia's seen him. Larry was watching him a little bit, but now solidified. So, Drew, go make it happen. You got a good name already, right? So go make it happen, young man. Another one. I've talked about this kid about 2 or 3 times now on the show. He has a clip that he continues to post, is getting some numbers. And that's Jermaine May over at Lake Region. As we talk about culture, we talk about loyalty, man. This kid stays over there at Lake Region. Obviously, has an opportunity to go elsewhere, but can do it all. Wide receiver, DB, return game. Had damn near the best clip throughout the 77 championship, jumping over 3 or 4 kids coming down with the ball. But he just wants it, you know what I mean? For you coaches that I mentioned, man, you Southeasterns, Webbers, Warners, Kaisers, man, if you need a kid that can come be an All-American type kid, that has the under the radar chip on their shoulder, can get it done on and off the field, be a leader in the community. This kid is criminally underrated. You know what I mean? Just go watch the tape, go watch some of the film. You know what I mean? And I kind of want to watch some highlights, but I'll be on here all night, guys. Maybe I'll do that next time. As I talk about Drew Sapp, I can show some of his clips of he's been putting up coming off the edge. Jermaine May, I can show his head top catch, but a lot of these kids have some film. So if I got you, you know what I mean? I might expand it next time. But coaches, make sure you go check out these kids. So Jermaine May is one of them. Big time production piece. And lastly, Jasper Hebel, man. Shouts out to Jasper Hebel, right? This kid, you know what I mean? He's figuring out where he wants to play, figuring out where he can produce more on this Lakeland High School team. I believe that's going to be at the tight end spot, right? Big frame type kid. I think he's about 6'5", man. Towering piece, you know what I mean? Can come off the edge if he wants to, but man, as I've seen him throughout the offseason, show his strong hands, show his vertical threat ability, being able to block off the, you know what I mean, block a chip off the edge, some of these DNs, some of these edge rushers. Like, he has a full package, and he's a real deal D1 tight end. As I've messaged I know some of you tight end coaches that's looking for some prospects. Here's one right here. Real versatile type kid, good motor. So Jasper Hebel, high on him, right? Senior year, big time for you, young man. Go make it happen for your recruitment. So those are 3 big time kids I'm high on that can break out in Polk County that like the post. Obviously, there's more, but if you like the post, you get in the spotlight. All right, moving on to my linebackers, man. My linebacker spotlight. And starting with Malachi Moore, coaches, 2027 kid over at Lake Gibson High School. It's in the genes for the Moores, you know what I mean? It shouts out to brother, shouts out to moms, you know what I mean? And one word about this kid, as I put in the article, is enforcer. You know what I mean? He's a real quarterback of the defense, high IQ kid. His brother was flying all around too, you know what I mean? A lot physical, you know what I mean? But this kid's smart, real high motor kid, you know, flying around, interceptions, you know what I mean? So he's showing some real instincts that you want to see at the Mike position, you know what I mean? I'm sure he'll fill out at that Mike position, but he's a breakout dog. I'm excited to see what we can do for Lake Gibson. I went out there in the spring, very vocal, all over the place, you know what I mean? Production piece. So he's one of them ones, you know what I mean? I'm sure he has an opportunity to play, you know what I mean, at the next level where his brother's at, but he might, you know what I mean? All right, you know what I mean? If he can have a big time year this year, get it done on off the field and come in for his senior year, the sky's the limit for him. So, and his partner, you know what I mean? The man right beside him. I seen this kid, 77 championship, bucket hat, and that's Caleb Beck. You know what I mean? This kid, as I said, plays with his heart on his sleeve. He's a scrappy kid, instinctive, plays downhill with violence. You know what I mean? Some of y'all was getting beat up on out there at the 77 championship, but it's close. It's 10 strap time. It's shoulder pad time. You know what I mean? So he's put on some size. He's created some buzz around what he can do, him and Malachi Moore. I like Christian Garcia, some other kids on that. I like the Paul Wright kid. So Lake Gibson is putting together, you know what I mean, a real linebacker core, along with Elijah Byers and some of the kids that's on the defensive line. So as I talk about, Lake Gibson has all the tools to be a big-time school in Polk County, you know what I mean, to push deep into the playoffs. Shouts out to Coach Jeff George and crew. That's 2 linebackers for you right there that you got to work with. 2 more linebackers that like the post, you know what I mean, and showed some love, and that's Noah Maddox, man. As he moved over to Boone High School, as his coach said, some guys are just made to play linebacker, you know what I mean? But he gets it done off the field, 4.2 GPA, 100+ tackles, you know what I mean? That's discipline. But he has a high football IQ. He's always in position, it seems like, on film to make a play. But he's a real glue guy, you know what I mean? Can put him where you need to be. But coaches, you turn on his tape, you'll love him. You know what I mean? High motor kid that's dedicated to the game, dedicated to the position. You know what I mean? Not many kids wake up in the morning and want to tackle somebody. So shouts out to Noah Maddox, man. You know what I mean? He has an opportunity to play college football. And lastly, man, Leandro Gutierrez, man. This kid, real production piece at the linebacker position last year. 4.5 star, long snapper, you know what I mean? Coles Academy, I believe. So he has an opportunity to play that position at the college level, but he had 100+ tackles, impact player, you know what I mean, for Hagerty High School, 2026 kid, coaches, linebacker, long snapper. So shouts out to Leandro, you know what I mean? Shouts out to his family as well. He has an opportunity to play at the next level. So, and he shows a lot of love, you know what I mean? That's one thing he does. He's always tagging me. He's always DMing me. So much love to him. All right. We're winding down here as I get closer to Coach White from a Behind the Playbook segment. But I got a few more kids to talk about that like the post, and that's my trench monsters. You know what I mean? I seen somebody a comment. Where's the trench guy? Well, I love my trench monsters, man. As I say, you're not gonna go too far at the prep level, college, anywhere. You know what I mean? Without your trenches being in place. So these kids right here like the post, and they deserve the spotlight. And that's first up. Auburndale Bloodhounds. There ain't no AC in the trenches, man. That's Riley Cooper. Strong punch, underrated power, you know what I mean, out there with Coach Thomas. This is a D1 type lineman, you know what I mean? But he can play all over the place, I feel like. Definitely a versatile kid. He can play offense and defense, but he can pull, he can shift, redirect. I'm excited to see what he can do, but he's a real deal prospect that I've seen throughout the offseason at some of these camps, and to see it throughout the summer period, you know what I mean, him getting his body together. Has a real opportunity. So shouts out to Riley Cooper. Has been showing some love for a while. All right, next up is RJ Stam, man, over at Dr. Phillips. 2026 prospect, Colgate commit, 6'5", 270, built like a tank, you know what I mean? But he got some real fluid feet work. As I watch his film, you know what I mean? Good pass sets. He can be nasty in the run game as well, but he's a quiet killer for a legit program. I know he's committed right now, but I know, as I said, he has an opportunity to play at a big level. As I got Coach White in the background, man. Let me wrap up here, Coach. I got a few more prospects on Drew's prospect watch. So next up, man, Coach, I got two Lakeland guys. I know you want to hear this, but they got a guy coming over called Juan Diaz, 6'6", 300 pounds. I went out to Lakeland, you know what I mean? Shots out, they always going to have kids all over the place, but I was a little bit worried about the offensive line. Where's the trenches guys at? But I know they was going to get it together, you know what I mean? And this kid's coming over from Brandon area. He's just a big body, you know what I mean, that they can add to the offensive line. Got some good agility, massive ceiling, you know what I mean? As I watch his film a little bit, you know what I mean? He can work on his power, work on his hand strength a little bit, his punch power. But he has an opportunity to come over here and add to this offense. And same thing as Zatorian Vilsaint. An underrated bowling ball piece, strong hands, good feet, anchor. You know what I mean? A senior this year, as I mentioned, these Warners, Webbers, Kaisers, like these are offensive lineman pieces in Polk County that you should be all over. Another one's Frankie Lastinger from Lake. I think that was at Lake Wells over at Fort Meade now, but improved trench piece. You know what I mean? Plays both sides of the ball, but high on him, powerful hands, real quick get off. If you watch his film, but he has some meaningful snaps. And I'm sure he'll be a production piece on both sides of the ball. And last but not least, as I wrap up this prospect watch, you know what I mean? You guys remember, this is just the beginning, you know what I mean? If you didn't hear your name today, keep grinding. You know what I mean? We're going to be watching throughout the fall season as I break this down. But this right here is for the parents, for the coaches. You guys make sure you're tagging me, liking that post so I can give you the spotlight from my under the radar, my hidden gems, my guys that might not be getting the spotlight. You'll get it on this show. For you college coaches that might be on some of these kids, that might be on your radar, they might be on your board. You want some insight, some credible insight, a breakdown from these kids, you'll get it here. I don't know if I'll expand to some film breakdown or whatnot. I'll be here all damn day, but these are some really good kids. And the last one, but not least, a 2028 kid that, like the post, is Anari Cooper. You know what I mean? He already holds a D1 offer from Toledo. But he looks like the next star. I mean, I'm a Polk County kid, so I've been seeing it from Rainey to Stu Butler to DeMarcus Bowman, on and on and on. This kid looks like he has an opportunity with Jadarius Dobie to be one of those Lakeland backfield guys. So he's an electric, smooth kid. Coach Hen said he was barely damn near got tackled throughout the spring. So, damn, that's enough Lakeland kids as Coach White is in the background. But these are kids that like the post, you know what I mean? So make sure you guys that like my post, as I expand this Drew's prospect watch. That was a lot right there, right? So, all right, man. All right. These are one of my favorite segments, right? We're transitioning now for the parents, you know what I mean, that were tapped in, for the student athletes. I'm going to move on to behind the playbook, right? Make sure you're tapping in from a pavement floor to coaches. I'll tag y'all every time I do this, right? Because these men are not just creating student athletes. They're not just leading men in between the lines, right? They're creating the fathers. They're creating the men in our community. They're creating the doctors, lawyers, not just football players, right? You know what I mean? So anytime that we can give the spotlight to the men that's investing into our youth that are already not getting paid enough, right? We see the stuff that's going on with Teddy Bridgewater. Like, these coaches are going through a lot, you know what I mean, that's off the field, you know what I mean? So anytime we can give a spotlight to the men that are investing into our young men, that are creating people in our community, we got to do it. And this one right here, right? As I said, it's been a lot of talk in Polk County about them Blue Devils, right? I wish we would have seen them at 7v7 championship, but we're not seeing them the last couple weeks. And they got some guys, some real young guys that we're going to talk about. But this man right here, the main man, I call him the GM. You know what I mean? As I said, he's not just a leader on the field, but he's off the field as well. You know what I mean? Got his hands in a lot of things, but he's also the regional director for the Florida's Coaches Coalition. Advocates for changes across the, you know what I mean, the state, but he's now entering his fourth year with the Blue Devils. Real culture guy, real foundation guy. When I go out there, it's like a college atmosphere when I talk to Coach White. So I'm excited to see what we can do with this program, man. Glad to have him on and have him talk, share his expertise. So welcome to the show, Coach Carl White. Our brother.
Hey, what's going on, man? Appreciate you. Thank you.
Got you right. Now my dog sounding right, looking good. So this right here, man, make sure y'all hit that like button. We got a lot to talk about, man. I'm glad to have my brother on. But man, as we did try to do last time, Coach, before I have you go into all that, let's get into your background a little bit, man. I know you got a journey of yourself. You know what I mean? As I talk about that accent, you know what I mean? Going back to your days in East Texas, talk about your days, you know what I mean? What goes into, you know what I mean, your journey and your background that shaped your coaching philosophy, you know what I mean? As you go out and lead these young men this year, just talk about your background, coach.
Yeah, for sure, man. Hey, first and foremost, just thank you again. Thank you for what you
Yeah.
do and providing this platform. I got the opportunity just now just to hear you, man, just speak on kids who might be floating under
Thank
the
you.
radar. And
Yeah, man.
man, that's big. That's big.
Thank you,
So,
brother, for
shout
real.
out to
Thank you,
you
brother.
and for doing what you're doing. And you've always been a good contributor to us and helping us,
Yes,
man.
sir.
And, everything you do, man. I greatly appreciate you. Thank you
No,
so
I
much for
appreciate
giving us
that.
this platform. Yeah,
For
man.
real, brother. Appreciate that.
But for us, man, it's just all about finding your purpose. That was
Yeah.
that was big for me, man. And like I told you before, like my degree's in finance. It had nothing to do with
Yeah.
football.
There you
When I
go.
hung them
Yeah.
cleats up, man, I was done. And
Yeah.
my grandfather told me, "Hey, you're gonna be a football coach." I fought it
Yeah.
like crazy,
Yeah.
and uh, and God will see fit, man. Here you are. 14 years,
No,
15 years in, I'm still
talk about
doing
that
this
college
thing.
background, man. No, don't shortchange yourself. My dog goes to college. He done had a couple stops, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Talk about what your
Yep.
background a little bit, you know what I mean? Being a
Yeah.
sponge, being at a couple other stops
Yeah.
that you take with the game today, coach.
Yeah. So for me, I started at my alma mater. I
Yeah.
coached at Cobb County. That's where I got my teeth chewed in a little bit.
Yeah.
Then I had the opportunity to go to Morristown West High School and played under
Wow.
Lamar Brown, who he's back-to-back state champion, and
Yeah.
he's the one that truly believed in me and said I could get this done and do it at a high level. So there's
Yeah.
always that one guy who believes in you, and he
Yes,
was that
sir.
for me. And
Yeah.
it also goes back to my stint in college. I had the opportunity to coach with Mike Clowney, Mike
Well,
Turner, who recruited me to go to Carson Newman and
yes,
be
sir.
at that level and coach NFL guys and do those types of things. I've had the opportunity to be around some really, really cool people
Yeah.
that poured into me and believed in me. And ultimately, that's why we are and our program is structured the way it's structured, because those who believed in me first.
Yeah. And I talk about it coming out to Winter Haven, man. You guys practices in the spring. Like I said, it's a college atmosphere. I ain't gonna lie. You feel me?
Yeah.
Is that some lessons you learned from being at the college level? You know what I mean? Is it different than high school?
Yeah.
Like, for people that's watching, like, what did you learn being at that level? I mean, that you still got in your bag today for these high school student athletes.
Well, if you come in our locker room, or you probably go in any locker room across the country, you ask these kids do they want to play college football, 90% of them are going to raise their hand.
For sure.
And if that is in case, then it's our job as coaches to prepare them for that. And, I want to get back at some point, whenever God sees fit. Ultimately, that is my ultimate goal, is to get back in college at some point. So I want to be able to provide that, give these guys, as soon as they walk into that locker room, it should feel no different. Like they should feel like, hey, I've already felt this before. Coach White been telling me this. I want them to be like, no, I've already done that in my program. I'm already built for this. And then we take pride in that here at Winter Haven High School. So that's what we're trying to do. And ultimately, right now, we got a bunch of coaches that's pushing in the same direction, and that helps a lot. So testament to those coaches as well.
No, Coach, you definitely done laid the culture and the foundation. It's a real feel when we come out there. And Coach done gave y'all a little gym. Coach beat up on a couple of y'all for a few years, pushing the playoffs. You might see him at the D1 Power 5 level. He's got that type of, he's got that type of mindset.
Time
for
will
real.
tell.
All right. Yeah. All right, Coach. Let me ask you, man. We talk about this social media, right? And as I talk about you, being the regional director for the Florida's Coaches Coalition. We see the Teddy Bridgewater stuff, We see a lot that's going on social media, but talk about it. Coaches, they're more than coaches. They're vital, role in developing young men, developing our community, the part-time mentors, as I talk about, the part-time father figures, role models, sometimes chefs. We talk about these kids not having the nutrition, the education about what it means to build a college body, to create the fathers, the husbands, the leaders in our community a lot, as you can tell, I'm passionate about, as you said, not just the football coaches, but across the board, from the men and the women. So kind of talk about, what's your role look like, brother? And what's your perspective, on the push for fair compensation for coaches in Florida? Kind of talk about that a little bit, brother. As Damon Craig talked about it on Twitter the other day. What's your take on it, brother?
Sure. Yeah, no doubt. Number one, shout out to Dr. Ramjet for giving me the opportunity,
Yes, sir.
to
For
be a
sure.
part of this coalition, man. He
Yeah.
does a fantastic job, speaking on behalf of coaches across Florida.
Yes, sir.
And, he'll dive into it later, but there's more than just Florida coming about for, this organization. And
Ooh, wow.
I just feel like, our job is to advocate for all coaches. That's what FCC is all about. Not
Yes,
just
sir.
football coaches, but all coaches, all, genders. It don't matter if you're a girl, boy, whatever
Yeah.
you are, we are advocating for equal pay.
Yes,
How about
sir.
that?
Yes, sir.
And again, our job is to advocate. We can't go create bills. We can't do those types of things,
Right.
but we can advocate and be a
Yeah.
sounding board for everybody.
Yes,
And,
sir.
that is what we are, and that is what we do. And like I said, he's created a huge platform and a huge following that's gained some traction on a
Yeah.
national level, and to bring awareness to what's going on. I
Yeah.
mean, it is a travesty that what us as coaches, as at the end of the day, it's not getting paid what they're worth, and you're never going to put a true sticker value on that because of what they
Wow.
do. You just mentioned 4 or 5 hats that some coaches wear, and
Wow.
there's no dollar figure on that. But
Yes, sir.
you got to start somewhere. You got to start somewhere, and like I said, our job is to advocate. Be a sounding board and get in front of those faces to be able to create change and create differences in what we got going on right now and defeat the status quo.
For sure, Coach. Appreciate that. And shouts out to Dr. Ramjet and some of the guys, the Waldrops, and I know that they're attached to the FCC. But, Coach, a
For
couple
sure.
questions off that. Let me piggyback. We kind of talked about this last time I asked you this. Expand on this. What does it look like for people that might be questioning it? They see you guys advocating and whatnot, and I'll ask another question related to that. But what does it look like? You know what I mean? As we talk about fair compensation across the board, what are you guys advocating for? And I know you mentioned it last time, but talk about that a little bit, Coach.
Yeah, for sure. I think the big push right now is just minimum wage, for, coaches. And again, let me
Yes, sir.
reiterate,
Yes,
it's
sir.
not just football coaches. It is coaches, period. I think
Yes,
that's
sir.
important, man, because, everybody thinks it's football coaches or football coaches get no. This organization is trying to push for everybody and advocating
Okay.
for everybody.
Okay.
And, even big sports, small sports, all
Yeah.
those good things. Everybody is putting in hours and doing the right things for these young men and women. And it's important to know, like, yes, it's getting advocated for. You're getting
Yeah.
advocated for, and get behind this organization. I think the
Yeah.
biggest
There you
piece
go.
right now is, there's so many skeptics, and
Yeah.
drop the skepticism. Help.
Uh,
Join in, be a part
yeah.
of, the advocation. Because that's the way that once we unify and come together, the
Yeah.
voice is going to become even louder. But you get the skeptics out there and, and kind of divide you, or at least creates or senses divide. And that's not the case at all. We all need to come in here to create change. That's how it works. And the louder you are, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. So we got to keep on out there, man, and
There you go.
keep advocating for
Yeah.
everybody. I mean,
Yeah.
and not just football. All coaches across Florida are underpaid, and we got to do what we can to get that fixed.
I think that's what it is, Coach, because you guys, as you said, y'all are the face of it, right? The FCC push. But can you say that again? Like, this is because I was kind of confused, I guess, as well. Like, this is for all coaches. It's not just football guys. You know what I mean? This is for women's volleyball, women's soccer, tennis. You know what I mean? Like you said, rally. Let's rally behind this because I thought it was just football. Kind of talk about that a little bit more, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no worries. I mean, I just feel like right now, because of obviously the big ticket sports are the face of schools. They're the face of, basically Florida, really, because, Florida is known for football. But, you look across the board, man. No, that's just, it's facts. It's facts, and we get that. But at the same time, man, there's so many people that could provide their voice and their perspective, and to be able to help, provide change and use their network to be able to get in rooms and spaces that normally we couldn't get in. That's why I say it's going to take everybody, to
Yeah.
get this done. And, I feel like the more people that speak up, the more people that come together, because what they really want is for this
Right.
organization and for coaches to be divided.
That's what they.
And
Okay. Yeah, I
that's
see. That's
what
what
they
they want,
want.
huh?
So
Yeah.
when you see something splintered, it's fractured and it doesn't work. But the moment that we can provide a unified front and come together and work together, then all of a sudden it becomes more powerful and the voice
Yeah.
becomes louder. So
Yeah.
that's our job, is to provide a central location and speak for coaches across Florida. And I think, like I said, Dr. Ram just put something together that's really, really good. That's really, really providing and trying to create some change, in the state of Florida for their coaches.
Man, if y'all are watching, man, hit that like button just for that, right? As we talk about, we're Florida. I'm a Florida boy, so as I say, this state right here produces the most talent, and this is
Correct.
this specifically for football, right? So, but it's just sports for me. It's just not just about, what I mean, just going to the NFL or whatnot. Dude, I play sports. I didn't go to the NFL. You know how many brothers I got still to this day that I can call that are going to be
Right.
best men at my wedding. You know what I mean? Like guys that I
Yeah.
can still rely on if I go broke and lose it all right now, and I need a couch to sleep on. Like
Yeah. That's right.
sport is much more than that. You know what I mean? This is
Right.
you go create lifelong friends. You understand what like tribulations are in life. You might not be the first
Yeah.
string guy, second string guy. You got to go through tribulations. Like you got to work on your body. You get education, learning nutrition and whatnot. So it's just the mental aspect of it. It's a lot
Right.
that goes into the game, and I'm not just talking about going to college and playing football. So, and as we talk about with Teddy
That's
Bridgewater,
right.
some of these kids from the trenches, I'm trying to keep it professional. Like it's a lot that goes on off, you know what I mean, that we can really get into. You feel me? That's in our
Yeah.
community
Yeah.
that's hurting our young men. So with the knucklehead stuff that they have the variables they got to deal with, the households they
Right.
come out of,
Right.
you know what I mean? So the
Right.
fathers that's not in the household, like it's a lot that sports
Ooh.
helps these young men, you know what I mean? So man, I
Yeah.
can
No
get,
doubt.
you know what I mean, emotional with it. Because that's what the pays for me, right? It's bigger than just the football and creating running backs and wide receivers and quarterback mechanics off platform. All that's great, but like helping these young men that's coming from this disadvantaged franchises, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? This
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
tough,
Yeah.
especially in the area you in, brother. You seen that, you know what I mean? So as somebody calls them, like I've seen it firsthand being out there at Winter Haven, like dog in Auburn. Like some of these kids don't have the best background, but they get to go to a Coach White, they get to go to a Coach Thomas, and they get to be young men. They get to be free, you know what I mean? And they get to, you know what I mean, embrace life. So it's much bigger to me when it comes to these coaches. And shouts out to my women coaches as well with womanhood, you know what I mean? So it's a lot that goes into it. So shouts out to the FCC trying to change the game for our Florida coaches as we look across Georgia, we look across Texas. Man, it's crazy. So, all right, Coach, I went on a tangent right there. We'll transition, right, and we'll kind of get back to football before we get too emotional here. Go on a damn ministry. So let's kind of talk about it. All right, we'll talk about your background a little bit, man. But Coach, you've been on a couple stops now, as we talked about last time with Ridge and Lake Placid, and now at Winter Haven. But for those that don't know, let's kind of talk about this Winter Haven community, from the staff, from the administrators, the student athletes. Like, what makes Winter Haven special as an Ashley? Like, what makes it special to be a Blue Devil? Hold on, Coach. Hold on. You muted. You muted. Yep. All right. Nope. Come back. Leave and come back, and it'll work. Sorry, y'all. Y'all know how StreamYard gets, man. Second night in a row. So let's have him leave and come back. Hit that like button, man, for sure. Shouts out to all the student athletes that were tagged up today. You know what I mean? Shouts out to all the student athletes that got covered. You know what I mean? I enjoy when you guys clip it up and tag me. So, but if you didn't get mentioned tonight, don't feel no type of way. You know what I mean? I ain't forget about you. You feel me? Just make sure you hit that like button. Remind me. Comment right now. Don't forget me. You feel me? So much love to you guys. Let me get Coach back in here 1 second. Are we spitting? My brother, you good? There we go. I can hear you now. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Go?
Yeah. Can you hear me, brother? Oh, we gotta put them headphones in. Hold on, let me get his headphones in. Y'all give Coach 1 second. Oh, crap. Y'all don't go nowhere. I'm on the phone with Coach. We're getting it right. Let me get Coach back in here 1 second. Y'all know how this StreamYard stuff can get, man. Hold on. What we looking like, Coach?
You got me?
Yeah, I got you. Are you good? You good?
Hello?
Can you hear me? What's up? You on mute, Coach. You on mute. Can you hear me now?
You got me now?
Yeah, I got you. You good? Can you hear me?
Hear you on your side.
All right, hold on. We good now? Coach, can you hear me? All right, family. My bad, man. I don't know what's wrong with my account. I don't know what's wrong if I ain't paid a bill or what, man. Y'all hit that cash out. Help your boy out. I was just playing, man. But no, I got Coach right. So let me go ahead and bring him back on. We'll break it down some Winter Haven football for you guys. So hit that like button. Let's have Coach Carl White back on. My brother.
Yeah,
my bad,
we
man.
back, man. We back.
My bad,
No,
Coach,
it's
man.
all good.
Yeah, let's
It's
go ahead
all
and keep
good.
rolling, man. The people tapped in for sure. I know they will be, but as I told you, man, jump back into this thing. You've been at a couple stops now, but you with the Blue Devils, you're Winter Haven. And as I say, Bartow, Auburndale, Lakeland, they own spots, but Winter Haven is one of those hotbeds as well. From the basketball team to the football team, from all types of sports. But talk about the community as a whole, from your administrators, your staff, to your student athletes. What makes this place, this community, these kids special over at Winter Haven, brother?
Yeah, no doubt, man. This place has been, with no disrespect, God blessed me with 2 other stops prior to here, so I'm grateful for the opportunity. It prepared me for this moment, so I don't want anything that I'm going to say moving forward be a reflection of them. They all are a great place in their own right. But to me, those were stops where football was something that we kind of just checked off the list and got done. And then we kind of moved on. Here, athletics is important, and administration understands the value of athletics and the impact that it has on their school. That has been the biggest difference that I can say in my first, 3 years here is they get it. They understand it. They invest. They're around. They're present. A lot of administrators support, or their definition of support is just leave you alone and let you do your thing. And that's good in some spaces, but your presence is valued. And that it's important for these young people to see the administrators, to see athletic directors present and be around and have conversations and have relationships with these guys. And that has been the biggest difference so far in terms of administration. They've been top notch in that regard. They get it. And that has been refreshing, and it's been easy to come to work when that your administrators got your back and they're going to do whatever they can to help you be successful. That's been a breath of fresh air. And that's just the school piece. This place has got a booster club that's second to none.
Wow.
It is. They'll give you everything you need and then some. A lot of people don't know this, but my wife had to take a job in Port St. Lucie for a year.
Wow, man.
So I was driving 2 hours back and forth every day.
Dedicated, boy.
And listen, it was you had to do it, man. It's just part of things in life. But that booster club where I was up here by myself became more like family than they were a booster club. And they would take me out to eat. They would just hang out with me till 7, 8 o'clock till I went back to the hotel and just kicking it with your boy. So they're amazing, and the parents here are awesome, and they want to see these kids be successful. So this place, like I said, they care about their athletics, they care about their sports, and it's been the most awesome place that I've been to thus far. Definitely the most supportive.
Wow. Yeah, and we can tell, we can see the administration understands what the football program can do. With look at Denison Stadium. You know what I mean? Winter Haven got a nice stadium now.
We do. No doubt. No doubt. And, that's a testament to this community, a testament to, our administration, booster club. That took a whole lot of, irons being in that fire. Our Dan Talbot and the rest of the crew in the county, making sure that, that vision came to light. I got to be here, just outside of the genesis of that product, but got to see it be done. It is just that's an amazing place. If you had a little bit more parking, you probably could vouch for some state championship games being played there.
Man.
That's how awesome that place is. Beautiful place on Friday night.
I guess that does add, when I come out there, Coach, that does add to the college feel. If y'all had some damn sandboxes or whatever, it might feel a little different. It looked professional, dog. So and then when you got your whole staff, it just put out the new gear when you looking top notch. You know what I mean? So it feels like a college program out there. So what type of kids?
But all of those things are important. Oh man, listen, we got some dudes, man. They've been kind of flying under the radar. Yeah. To me, I think you got you're a well-rounded kid, in my opinion. You come in and look at the ones that have came out since in my tenure. You got the G-Sean Myrtles of the world who went to Tulane that's now at FAMU. But they come out of here well-rounded just from the academic standpoint, from the football piece. Like, you go look at kids that's went on and done things just in my tenure. Like, you got a well-rounded kid that not only get there, they stick.
Yeah.
So, that's important. Like, you get a lot
Yeah.
of, a lot of places, kids, they get there and, they don't make it because the program
Yeah.
just, you want it to be a reflection of where they're going. And I don't mean any
Yeah.
disrespect
A
to any
good
other
one with
program. That's
John
not
too.
what I'm
Shouts out
doing. But
to John. That's that
um,
right there, boy. That boy
yeah,
embraced the winter Haven Blue Devils mantra. You know what I mean? Your
no doubt.
quarterback. Not the brothers like that. You feel me?
Yeah, who
Yeah.
just he just left a couple days ago. He messaged me.
Yeah.
He's in
Yeah.
school now, and that's great. Marlon left today.
Oh,
So he'll
okay.
be he'll
Another
touch
one.
down
Yeah.
later on this evening. So all our babies, they gone, man. They're gonna
Yeah.
get the fall camp soon enough. So but yeah, but all my babies
Well,
that
I
from
say
last year are
another
all
one too,
gone now.
Trayon, dog. I'll talk about him a little bit
My
more
dog
later,
doing
but
his
Trayon
thing,
Ellington,
man. Listen,
yeah,
that's my
that's a winter
guy.
Haven Blue
Listen, that
Devil.
Joker there, man, that is a Blue Devil through and through.
Show, man.
He's doing his thing on social media too. Shout out to my boy Trayon Ellington, man. He's
Yeah,
doing
yes,
his
sir,
thing.
man. I'll talk
But
about him a
he's
little bit
awesome.
more too. Yeah, he
He's
is.
awesome,
But
man. He's a great
yeah,
dude.
yeah. All right, coach. I can't, you know what I mean? Let me ask you, because I seen you put this on Twitter, man. You said it's not strategy, it's culture. You know what I mean? As we
Yeah.
talk about these kids, we talk about this community, you know what I mean? This coaching staff. It brings its own feel, as I say, but what is the culture? You know what I mean? Like, what's culture look like that you've been trying to establish here? As I say, when I come out there, you know what I mean? Professional college, like you got your head on your shoulders, on and off
Yeah.
the field, academic wise as well. But what's
Right.
culture look like for you, and man, what's it kind of been like for you and staff these last few years?
Right, man. So I think it's important to note, within our culture and our program, you're going to struggle within my program if you don't want to be a better man first. You're going to
Ooh,
struggle.
there you go.
And because to me, everybody wants to be a good football player.
Yeah,
Everybody does. That's why you walk in that locker room. Where you're going to struggle in my program is where you don't want to be a better person. We're going to challenge you to become a better man. We're going to challenge you every single day, top to bottom. And the ones that struggle in our program is the ones, number one, they can't identify with team. It's about
mm,
yourself. You ain't going to make it.
nope.
Number two is we're going to challenge you to grow as a human being. And those that
Ooh,
don't want to get outside of their comfort zone
yes,
and not
sir.
grow, you're going to struggle. And it's no disrespect. Like I said, we've all been, young men at some point in
Yeah,
time, and where you hard headed, and that's just
yeah,
part of growing up, man. You're
yeah,
gonna accept the information when you choose to accept it. But
yeah.
football is important. It's a catalyst to get us all where we need to go. It has been for
Yes,
everybody.
sir. Yes, sir.
But you only get a brief moment in time to pour into these young people about being a better man.
Yes,
And you
sir.
mentioned it earlier about single father homes and doing all those things.
Man,
And we take great pride at Winter Haven High School football in stepping in that gap for these young men that don't get to see that
yeah.
every day.
Yes, sir.
And that's important to us. And I pray if you come out to our football practice, you come to our program, you sit in our locker room, or you a fly on the wall. I pray
Mm,
that's what you walk away with. The impression is they are great men around those young
mm.
kids.
Yes, sir.
And that's important to us. So at the bottom
Mm,
line of our culture is pouring into young people and making them better men.
yeah,
And that is always in the first most what we're going to be about and what we're trying to accomplish. And
yeah.
hopefully the byproduct of that is playing really good football, for this
Yes,
community
sir.
and this school.
Yes, sir. And I can feel that, right? That not only translates, but within the kids, but it also within your coaching staff. You know what I mean? That's another thing I noticed coming out there in the spring was you got a
Yeah.
hell of a coaching staff you put together, coach. You know what I mean? So let's go ahead and give them the spotlight, right? Talk about the men you
Right.
got going into you with this fall season. What
Yeah.
makes this group special, you know what I mean? And how excited are you to go into battle with these guys?
Well, with all due respect, there's people that's been here before. This is the first time in my career that everybody is moving in the same direction and on the same
Mm.
page and got the same pushing the same agenda.
Wow. Yes,
And
sir.
that is how I've seen it played out in my mind, how I want my program ran
Yeah.
is how it's actually playing out. And that's been a beautiful thing to see. And I think that's why you're starting to see some success
Yeah.
on the football field. You don't
Yes,
have
sir.
people kind of pulling in different directions a little bit. But shout out to those guys as well. But where now
Yeah.
you got a lot of dudes and you got a nice mixture of some older guys, you got some
Yeah.
younger guys that we're kind of developing and you know, creating new coaches. But
Yeah.
you know, there's some people in that room now that's been coaching 20 something years. And
Wow.
I think TD Jake said it best: if I'm the smartest person in the room, we in trouble.
Yeah. There
And
you go.
that, so right now we got a lot of different, you know, viewpoints and perspectives and different places that they've been, and they're bringing it in here, and
Yeah.
it's all welcome, man. You know, the collaboration has been crazy this off season, and it's just been really, really cool to see
Yeah.
everything come together. The coaches trust the kids trust the
Yeah.
coaches, and there is no second guessing what's going on right now.
Yeah.
And you know, that locker room is tight, man, and it's been really cool to see. But most important, that coach's office is tight.
Yes,
And I don't
sir.
see anybody coming in there, you know, blowing that up right now without some sort of accountability that's going to take place from
Mm.
somebody in that locker room.
Yes, sir. And as I like to say, coach, the main man, you got to have things in place, right? The head coach got to have some
Correct.
things in place,
Yeah.
rules tight. But the successful programs that I see are the ones that I've seen growing up. The coaching staff is usually in sync, right? From the personnel coaches to your coordinators, you know what I mean, to your men that's just around the program that's been around for a while. You might got a guy that's just in the community the kids respond to differently. You know what I mean? You need them out there, but usually everybody's on the same page. So that's one thing I could tip my cap. Like Winter Haven, the coaching staff had that energy when I was out there during the spring. So, and everybody was rocking with each other. So that's always good to see. But all right, cool.
Man,
Let's talk
that's
about
important.
It. No, it is. It is. It is. Like that's what I said. The successful programs I've seen from every level, the coaching staff is rocking. You know what I mean? So and yeah. So all right, coach. Let me ask you though. I can't skip over this. You know what I mean? Ugly last year, coach. It's 1-9. You know what I mean? It's a little rough. Whatever.
No
I
doubt.
know you ain't scared of it. You feel me? But things happen in the offseason here with transfer portals and whatnot. You know how it is in Polk, coach. You got to respond.
For sure.
You know what I mean? You got next man up mentality. So I guess kind of talk about what's the offseason been like. You know what I mean? How have you guys responded to that year last year? You know what I mean? With this group, with this staff, and what have y'all worked on throughout the offseason to get, you know what I mean, to make sure that don't happen again over at Winter Haven, brother?
Yeah.
No, you don't.
There ain't no doubt. No. There's no doubt, man. I think you know, you never know why you go through stuff, man. It's just, it is what it is. I think, you know, God humbles us all in due time. And, you know, maybe I needed that. You know, maybe it looks like I did need that. And I did, you know, there was a lot of stuff to chew on right there. So, you know, we were humbled last year. 1-9, that was, you know, it was a sickening feeling. You walked in there every day and, you know, you put your bootstraps on. You had to have some thick skin, man. I just got my wife going back to church with me, dog. You know, it was a tough few days out there. But no, man, it happened. It was what it was. And, you know, I think it was important for our kids to see that too. Like, you know, everything ain't always going to be rainbows and Lucky Charms. Like, you got to be able to push through. And, you know, the answer, you know, what we sat down and talked to our group about was you can't run from this. And, you know, you can sit here, you can transfer here, you can go there and do all this. But at the end of the day, you were still 1-9. You can't run from it. And the best thing to do is let's get our butts in this room, sit together, and let's fix it. Like, that's the main important thing. And, you know, as a man, like I said, it's all about the man first. So what is it about me right now that looks 1-9? And whatever that is, let's cut it out. You know, and whether that was staff members or it was, you know, players, like that was a big part of the transformation in the spring, is getting rid of the kids who, that is what it was. Like, you were comfortable being mediocre. That's what we say. We don't want no lames here. And we say lames and people think we're being derogatory. But what we saying is lazy, arrogant, mediocre, or your ego. Those things get you beat. So we don't do that. Hey, don't be lame. Lame get you beat. So we cut all of that out. And then it wasn't personal, it was business. And we don't want to go 1-9. That school is better than 1-9. And it was a reflection of who we are. It was a moment in time, but we've got it fixed. We got the right people in place. And more importantly, those kids just, man, listen, they hit this adversity head on, man. And, you know, I think that's a testament to what you've seen in the spring and the outcome of the Davenport game, 42-18. I think it is a reflection of the leadership in this program. I think that's why you go to camp and they did well. I think
Yeah.
they just played in the referee scrimmage the other day and held
Yeah.
their own. And I mean,
Yes,
these guys
sir.
are they're doing everything that we've asked, and more importantly, doing everything that they've asked within each other. There's a whole lot of accountability that's taking
Yeah.
place, and
Okay.
there's some maturity that comes with that. And these guys, man, you got
Yes,
to look
sir.
on defense right now. There's 8 sophomores starting on our defense right now. We only got
We're gonna talk about it.
6. We got 6 seniors on our program total. Period. We only got like 3 people that can drive. So for me, it's
Wow.
important that we get these kids to understand about adversity. They got to
Yes,
be able
sir.
to understand it, feel it, deal
Man.
with it, not run from it while they're young. And right now, the maturity of these 15-year-olds is, I mean, I'm so impressed with them right now because, hey, listen, they just
Man.
buckling them cleats up and going to work, period. And that's
Man.
what you're seeing, man. I'm loving it. I can't brag on them enough. Don't tell them I said that, though. We got to keep driving them hard, man.
We'll block that
No, but
out, huh?
I'm so proud of them, man. I'm so proud of them.
Man, you just a few bars I gotta just piggyback on, you know what I mean? And this just life advice for the young men that's watching, right? Not just football, but you're gonna fail in life, right? You're gonna meet adversity in life. You being a financial guy, man, you know the successful business guys, they go bankrupt 2-3 times. You know what I mean? They got to go through certain things before they reach that pinnacle. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So it's gonna be failures. How you gonna push
Mm-hmm.
through? What you gonna do? You know what I mean? To grow from that, evolve from that. So you gonna
Correct.
run away
Correct.
when things get wrong.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Stop, wife getting on you, gonna run away,
That's
or you
right.
gonna tighten
Right.
up, be the man you need to be. You know what I mean? So that's the life advice. You know what I mean? And then
Part of it.
for sure. So that off season for sure. Don't run away from failure, from adversity. And the last thing you said there was a bar was don't be lame. Don't be
Lame.
lame, man. So I like
Yeah. So we
what'd you
cut
say
that
that
out,
stand for
man.
again, coach?
Lazy, arrogant,
Late.
mediocre, ego, all that gets you beat. Every
In life.
bit of that gets you beat, man. It's
In
just
life, man. So there you go,
but yeah,
coach.
man, it's part of it, man. It's just you give them those little nuggets, man, to kind of carry each
Yeah.
other on, man. And you
Yeah.
just you don't compromise who you are. Like I
Yes,
said,
sir.
it ain't the next time they see it, or something don't go their way, they felt 1-9 before.
Yeah. Ooh.
But they've also know, guess what? I bounce back just as strong. So whatever comes their way moving forward, they can always revert back to I got over it. It didn't last long. The sun came up the next day, and
There
we were
you go,
just fine.
coach.
So we were
Well, you
good, man. I'm
spitting,
not
boy.
stressing. And we
Well,
ain't
I've
stressing,
been
man. We're gonna be
1-9
fine.
before, boy.
And
Woo-hoo.
1-9. It don't get no worse than that, man.
Expect me. You feel
Don't
me?
get no worse than that. Yeah,
Nowhere
man.
else but up,
We
baby.
fine. We fine.
All
Like
right,
I
coach.
said, man, I like my troops.
Man, you got me hyped, dog. Let me tell you, dog, I gotta tip my cap again because one thing you and staff do, you yourself for sure, is you do a great job promoting your guys on social media for college
Yep.
exposure, getting them on
Yep.
campus throughout the offseason, you know what I mean, and getting in front of guys like myself, you know what I mean, these scouts
Yep.
and whatnot. We write articles on them, but I guess what's your priority, coach? What's your strategy for getting these student athletes? I know you travel, you know what I mean, some of these coaches, conventions and whatnot. You know what it looks like, you feel me? So what's your strategy and how important it for you is to getting student athletes to the college level, man? How important is that for you, coach?
I don't want anybody else to think they outworking me in that regard. I take a lot of pride in that, and I don't want my kids to feel like there's somebody else that's working harder for their kids than Coach White is at Winter Haven. And that drives me more than they could possibly know. We wake up in the morning, the first thing I'm thinking of is, who to post, how to connect them with who, and put them in spaces to where they can blow up. Man, it's important. I don't want nobody to feel like they outworking Winter Haven in that regard. And that is important. I think that's a part of who we are as a program. I think that's something that our kids have come to expect. And it means a lot to me. The moment that they share with me what their dreams and goals are, then it's time for me to go to work to help and make that happen. They putting their bodies on the line every day for me. And, going out here in this heat, I can't take 20 minutes out of my day to fire off some posts and some emails. Get out of here.
Come on, man.
And it's just like, come on, like whatever you need from me, I got you.
Yeah.
And this recruiting thing is important, and momentum,
Yeah.
and with the transfer portal, how hard it is. That just means we got to do double the work to get my kids in front of these people, in order for it to make sense. So, like I said, I'm gonna blow the phone up and
Yeah.
do whatever I can. They're gonna block me. That's fine. I got your email too, but we got to do whatever we got to do to help these young
Yes,
men get
sir.
out of here and help them achieve their goals.
Yeah.
But just working our butts off, man. And bottom
Yeah.
line, recruiting is work.
Yeah.
Whether you're at that level to get kids, you got to work your butt off, or
Yeah.
you're at this level to promote. My job is not to evaluate. That's not my job.
Mm.
I can't tell
Yes,
you
sir.
if you're D1 or not. That's not my job
Yeah.
anymore. My job
Yeah.
is to expose you to as many opportunities as possible, and you guys decide if he's D1 or not.
Yes, sir.
And as long as I'm exposing you to what you need to be exposed to and promoting you, then I think everything takes care of itself. Eventually, you're gonna fall in the
Man.
right hands and get to where you got to go.
Yes, sir.
But you gotta do your part too. But I promise you this: at Winter Haven High School, these kids, I mean, daggone, man, they worked their butts off to be able
I
to.
see.
I can stamp these kids right now, man, and
Yeah.
be like, all right, you getting a dude, not only a
Yeah.
good man, but you're getting a hardworking football player too. So
Yeah.
I don't mind sticking my neck out for these kids right
Yeah.
now.
Well, I see it. That's why I had it in my. I said, man, Coach White be busting his ass on Twitter, man. I be seeing Winter Haven stuff all the time, but that's what it takes, right? As I talk about
Right.
the Landland, shout out to my brother Polkway. Like some of
Yep.
these programs and I see Santa Fe picking up. I'm seeing programs like posting more. Like some of these
Yeah.
programs got to make their program more attractive. You know what I mean? Like, damn,
Yeah.
these kids are on social media. They text each other like, man, them boys over there smashing it, man. I ain't got posted yet. Like,
Yeah.
what's going on, coach? So, like
Yeah.
I said, that's why I call you the GM, the general, right? If you can't post a couple things for your troops, make them feel good, so when they go out in the football field, they ready to knock a noggin off. Come on, man.
That's
It just
right.
makes the guys feel better, man. My coach repping me. My coach
Yeah.
believing me. He posted me. He's emailing
Yep.
these coaches, get me out of my film. Check out my guy, 2028, Mario McBride. Like, he's a real guy.
Let's
You
get
know
him.
what I mean? That was my
Yeah.
guy. So, I mean, like, you got to do these things. But, coach, let me hear from you. Like, how important is
Yeah.
social media? Being the new digital resume. Like, this is
Yeah.
a new day and age. You go back to the VSS tapes days. It's hard to
That's
get
right.
coach back then.
Yeah.
You got to damn
No
near
doubt.
hope your coach is emailing for real back then. You know what I mean?
For
So,
real. Yeah.
how important is how different is it now with social media being your digital resume? These kids having a different tool.
I think, and here's what we tell them in our program.
Yeah.
And you can take it for what it's worth. No, I think it's important, man. I mean,
Yeah. Go ahead, brother.
we'll DM 100 girls, man, and none of them like you. But we won't DM no coaches. So I think if we're gonna chase that pretty girl, am I lying? Like we gonna DM that girl that don't want nothing to do with you, but we won't DM somebody to change your life. So I feel like that's important. But that's what we talk about in our program. All right, man, take that same energy with that young lady that you see and put that towards somebody that's going to help you change your life. And I mean, if we ain't on there following and they won't DM me back, well, keep going. Like, come on, it's just keep going. So, eventually, again, it's a numbers game, man. If you're in sales and you understand, the more no's I get, I'm getting closer to that one. Yeah, so build relationships. Like you get on there, you want to dance on the TikTok, great. Put that energy towards something that's going to change your life.
Yes, sir.
And so it's just important, man. But some of them it is. Like you just got to get them out of their comfort zone. Yeah. Just coach them up and give them the tools to be successful on that. Hey, what do I need to say? Well, hey, make it organic as possible. How would you DM, again, this young lady, what would you say to her? Hey, how you I don't know what that looks like for you. Your personality is different from mine. But you have to create that relationship with that coach to where it's organic and he believe on you to where when he's standing in that meeting and he's around that table, he can put you up there and be like, look, I got a great relationship with this kid.
Sir.
I think I'm going to go to bat for him.
Sir.
And the only way you do that is by, number one, taking your phone off D&D. Number two,
Yeah, right.
opening up your DMs and making sure they open
Yeah.
so they can communicate with you. And,
Yes, sir.
just leaving a good digital footprint. How important that is just to be available. Like, we get so
Wow.
mad, I'm slept on, but then I look on Twitter and or X, and you got 5 followers. So
Wow.
you got to spend time there, and it's got to be just as important as sitting down for 30 minutes and doing your homework. This just has
Yes,
to
sir.
be a part of your blueprint and what you're trying
Yeah.
to accomplish.
Yeah, that's
And you're
what
missing the
this
boat
day and
if you're
age.
not doing it. You're missing the boat. And don't get mad at nobody but yourself, because you got to be responsible for your own recruiting. Like, yeah, your coach is
Wow.
going to help you, but you're
Man,
responsible
I
for
was
that.
just about to say that.
You're
Go ahead. I
responsible
was
for
just
that.
about to say that.
Nah, you
Yeah.
good. Like, you
Yeah.
but to sit back and say, my coach didn't help me. Did you help yourself? Did
Yes,
you do
man.
the things that's
Man.
necessary? Did you respond to was you too cool because that was a D2 coach and you didn't respond because you thought you was better than? Like, all of these things come into play when
Wow.
it comes to all these slept on posts. You ain't slept on, bro. What you doing to get where you need to go?
Man.
And
Man.
we following 5 and 6 people, and 4 of those are ESPN and Stephen A. Smith. Like, it don't work that
Man.
way. You got to follow some people that's gonna help you.
So let me just kind of unravel that for you guys, man. For one, the professional route is make sure you know what I mean. Number one, make sure you guys have your bios right. Your coach don't want to click on your crap and it's the number one stunner or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, have your class. You know what I mean? Have your up to date height and weight. Have your GPA, any speed times you got. Like, make that easier. And I can say that because nobody gonna sell yourself better than you, right? Like you said, coach
That's right.
do his thing, right? In business, nobody not gonna sell yourself better than you can. And you want to make
That's
it
right.
as easy as possible for customers to obtain your product. So the easier you got it out, it's all laid right there. My huddle films right there, coach. Here's my stats from last year. Go ahead and check me out. Everything's available for you. I ain't got to do too much.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It makes yourself easier to be evaluated. So that's number one, right? And then the second thing, being a new day and age, is you're more than a football player, right? Not everybody's going D1. Not everybody's going NFL. So you can create your own brand. You know what I mean? Like, how
Right.
are you
Right.
branding yourself? You know what I mean? Shouts out to Dan LaForest. Like, how many times do you get a haircut a month?
Right.
You get a haircut 2-3 times a month? Your TikTok guys, I'm at TikTok now. Now, hey, how can I help your barbershop grow? Give me free haircuts. You know what I'm saying? We established the brand deal. Now you establishing brand deals. Now you establishing business etiquette. Now you networking outside of football using your likeness. You know what I mean? So your brand is a lot. Your social media is a lot more bigger than just football, just sports, just basketball, whatever. You know what I mean? So brand yourself. You know what I mean? Be more than a student athlete in this day and age. Don't put yourself in the box because they're gonna try to do that to you anyway in life. So all right.
That's right.
All right, coach. Real quick, man. For any young coaches watching, bro, like I said, you a sponge. You got a wealth of knowledge. Like,
yeah.
What's one piece of advice? You know what I mean? It don't matter wherever that you would give. I would say this. I don't word it like this. What's one piece of advice that you would give to your younger self, like the younger version of Coach White coming up in the game, maybe at the college level? You know what I mean? Still building a little bit, still sponging it up from the Lamars and whatnot. Now, years down the line, now you head coach. Now you running your own program. Now you're looking at your own staff. What's some advice would you give to the younger version of Coach White?
Yeah, man, just be true to you. Don't waver.
Yeah, there you go.
That's everything that you need to be for this job. Yeah. So, block out the naysayers that's coming because they coming. Yeah. It's just part of the job.
Coming, boy.
And just be true to you. Bottom line. Yeah. If you can do that in this profession, and you don't got to worry about nothing else. If you can be true to you, when you go home at night and lay your head down, you can rest easy. The moment that you start wavering, that's when things start getting harder. So be true to you, understand your values, understand who you are as a man and who you want to be. Nothing else matters. This job is not bigger than what you need to compromise to be that. This job is the ultimate mirror and reflection of you.
Wow.
And everything about this job as a head coach is a reflection of you, your
Yeah.
players, your community, your school. And the moment there's a kink in that armor, it's highlighted and it shows.
Yeah.
So just be true to you, man. That's the
Yeah.
best advice I can get. It's simple, it's cliche,
Yeah.
but you can't go wrong with it.
Yes, sir. That's advice for student athletes, young men as well, and even you coaches, man. Just be true to yourself. You know what I mean in life. So, all right, coach. We done had a lot of talk, man, but can't nothing go too right without your prospects, man. Let's go ahead
Yeah,
and
man.
get into some of these Winter Haven Blue Devils you got. For some of the people that's watching, even some of these college coaches that might be tapped in. And I got to start with your main man, dog. That's your 2020. That's your leader under center, your 2026 quarterback, Michael Kearney, dog. Let's talk about him a little bit as this offense starts to come together. He looks to play a huge part, coach. He's had a hell of an offseason. He's built more confident. Mechanics is coming together. Dual threat type kid. But I guess from your perspective, talk about his journey, the transition to quarterback, and what can you tell us about his play overall, coach? Him as a person as well.
Right. All right. Let's start there as the man first.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, you got to think this Joker, man. He's been sitting down behind John for 2 years. You know, knowing eventually he would get the keys. But we live a day and age now where I'm not going to do that. I'm going to bounce. I'm going to go over here and get what I need. So the true testament about his manhood and his character is the fact that he could have left to go get what he wanted, but he waited his turn. I think that is so important with young people right now is let's look at him as the example, not the exception, because he waited.
Oh.
And now all of a sudden he's getting these opportunities and accolades and he's starting to blow up a little bit. It's not by accident. And he's a leader.
Yes.
He looks the part. The kid is 6'3", legit.
There you go, coach. Break it down.
He's about 180, 185.
Yeah.
He is and he can run. When I say run, he can run. So I mean, he a legit 4'5" guy. So you know, and he's got a big time arm. And these first few games, and first few weeks are going to be really important for him. So we can get that out there. Because that's what they want to see. They want to see what happens when the true Friday Night Lights come on. And the moment that he does what he's capable of doing, it's go time. He's going to be on a lot of people's board. I'm telling you, Drew, like this Joker is he's a bad man. And I'm so proud of him and the way he carries himself. And I mean, he's an overall just great kid. But, you know, from a football player perspective, you're not going to get a better one. And when it's all said and done and this thing shakes out this year, he's going to be one of the best ones in the county. And I'll stamp that right now on what is today, the 7th? In 3 months, everybody going to know that name because he can play.
Wow.
He can play.
As me and Landon talk about top quarterbacks in the county, man, you cannot leave out the Kearney kid, dog, for real. Like,
you can't.
Type piece. Putting his mechanics together, already got the cannon on his shoulder, right? You already got a cannon on him, but putting the mechanics together and his chemistry and his timing down with some of these receivers we're about to talk about, that's what's going to make it come all together. You're already going to run past a few of y'all as you already did. You know what I mean? You've seen the highlights. So I'm high on him, right? So him, that's and he got a coach that understands what the transition means. But last piece for the college coaches, Georgia Southern, some of these, you know what I mean, dual threat. What is he, coach? That's that the type of game that opens up and makes him a better quarterback. Like, what type of quarterback is he for the people that don't know?
Well, we're an air raid system here at Winter Haven. So, but he adds a whole different. We've had to do some different stuff with him that he's kind of put it all together, and as he's gained more confidence, it's like, all right, let's open this thing up just a little bit more for him then. So now, I mean, guys, he's smart. He's a 3.4, 3.5 GPA type kid. So he's got the top part to make it work, and you can put as much as you want on him, and he just gonna sit back and he gonna handle it. So I think he can play in a system, whatever you guys choose. He can play in a system and fit. But athletically, you guys are gonna see that Joker. I mean, he can play, and so whatever system he needs to be in, he's gonna learn it, and he's gonna be at a high level. I think. So I'm not gonna box him and put him in no box, but I think whatever system that he chooses to be in, he's gonna excel
I
at.
appreciate that, Coach. And all right, Kearney, we got a lot of good talk. It's a big time year for you recruiting. You know what I mean? As I said, all season has been good.
For sure.
But to put it on film, a full season of it, from your 3 best games to your, your 3 best opponents to your 3 worst. You know what I mean? That's what I want to see. So, it's time this year. Go make it happen, young man. So, all right. Your running back room, Coach. Man, I'm gonna ask what the run game looked like. You had 2 really good ones, Coach.
Yeah.
Alfred Smothers and Quantavious Callaway, right? Those were some bell cow type kids, but what's this running back room look like this fall? You got Andrew Simpson, kid and crew blowing up a little bit. So talk about the running back room a little bit, Coach.
Yeah, Andrew Simpson, man. Let me tell you, it's another one that kind of just waited his turn. Now all of a sudden he's having some success, I think there is, there is glory in patience, and I think that's another testament of that. And oddly enough, Andrew and Mike are best friends, so. They've kind of waited their turn, but Andrew, man, I mean, he's got all the potential to be a 1K guy. It's there. He's got it. He's got the speed, he's got the power. He's got it all. It's there. But the other one is the transfer kid that we got from Sebring. Maytwan Bryant. The kid has been so explosive, and I've known the kid for a while now. He grew up with my son, so. The kid is so explosive, and he's probably about 182, 183 sophomore. Kid's still 14 years old. But I promise you, by the end of this year, everybody in Polk County will understand and know who Maytwan Bryant is. He's going to make a name for himself.
There you go.
And the kid has got I posted him yesterday, I believe.
Yeah.
And shout out to my guy, man. Go give him a follow too. But the kid can play, and he's going to do big things. And but he's playing both sides of the ball. He's one of our few 2-way kids. Swiss Army knife for us. Yeah. But he'll play some running back as well. And you may have a couple other surprises out there, I'm hearing. So time will tell.
Hey, I say the Winter Haven keep a running back or 2, dog. You feel me?
That's right.
I don't know what it is.
That's right.
I mentioned those 2 previously. Them were some real dogs. I'm telling y'all, 1,000-yard backs type guys. So
no doubt.
And let me ask, man, this the elephant in the room. If y'all don't know, Winter Haven might got the best 2028 class. I don't get in the damn state. It's like they come up with a new 2028 every day, it seems like. But let me just highlight some of them, man. The Michael Smith, the MJ kid, the receiver, the Sean Smalls, Vario McBride, Isaiah Johnson, Lorenzo Jones. Like, you can keep going on and on and on. And these aren't just guys on the roster, y'all. These are like guys that's going to be real production pieces this year. These are guys with D1 offers already. Like, these ain't just, like, these are real dudes. So, man, talk about the future really quick, coaching, like the youth of this team. How has it bolstered the depth and like your confidence? Like, I got some young dogs that I can build with.
Right. Again, that's a gift and a curse, right? So you got, the future is bright. Like, you're like, well, here we go. But again, so that's when I tell you. So these kids are only 9 months older than they were when we finished in November last year.
For sure.
But when I tell you they've got bigger, faster, stronger, we can't leave out, Jordan Phillips, who we posted today. That joker, two sport kid.
Keep going down, dog. My bad, Jordan.
Man, 6'4", 210, outside linebacker. Play with it. Yeah. So, all of these things, and he's really embraced and bought onto that role. And, if we were
kids, man.
These are big kids. And we talked about Deshaun Smalls, 6'1", 225, sophomore. So Vario McBride, I think he's 6 foot now. I think he's right at 6 foot, and he's at 200 pounds. That. So he gained some weight. Oh yeah, listen, he is like that. But we got kids like that across the board in this 2028 class, which is going to be. I don't think they're going to be a real problem for a lot of people. So that's why I say, and I don't mean, and this is not cocky, this is not being disrespectful to anybody. Yeah. But if they're gonna get us now. because it's going to be a problem
Yeah,
for a while
yeah,
to come, man. And these kids are going to be, only thing they're doing is getting better. So right now, while we got some of the growing pain mistakes,
yeah,
capitalize
right.
now,
For
because
sure.
as they get older
Don't
and they get more and more pissed off about being great,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
telling you,
And they
because you
got a
got
little white loading
everything.
up too, man.
Yeah, he coming.
You know
He
what I
coming.
mean?
So, by the time they seniors, he'll be right in there.
Hey, he
But
might
you
be
got,
standing a rock or something,
this a
dog. Don't
great
tell me I got
class.
another young buck quarterback. That'll be
They coming.
that'll take
They
y'all over the
coming.
top, dog.
Yeah. I mean, we do.
Jesus.
We got one in. We got a guy come in, James Crew,
Uh-oh.
James
Oh,
Cobb. We call him Crew.
I did see him posting. I did see that,
He's
coach.
he with us,
Okay.
man. So we got somebody
Okay.
that's working and really
That's learning
pushing
the
Mike to
system.
get better every day.
Yeah.
That's learning.
Yeah.
Sophomore,
Yeah.
2028,
Oh, there you
6'1"
go.
already, big, tall quarterback, long.
Ooh.
But
I don't
and
play
he
with the
came in
Blue
and he
Devils,
fit hand in
dog.
the
That's why
glove.
we here
They
tonight,
coming.
man.
They coming.
All
Just just give my babies time to
Just
grow up
wait
a
on it.
little bit, man. They coming. We're gonna be just
Yeah.
fine.
All right, coach. Let's go. We talked a lot about, some of those guys were on the defensive side of the ball, but let's talk about the defensive side, man. Who's my
Yep.
Trayon Ellington? You know what I mean? Like I said, that kid embodied what it means to be a Blue Devil. Real leader,
Right.
vocal type kid. Kids can look up and say, that's Trayon Ellington right there. Who's that guy's
Yeah.
headhunter, right? So who's been flashing on the defensive side of the ball? How confident are you in that group, coach?
Extremely. We need
Okay.
to find
Okay.
and challenge some people on the back end to get better.
Yes,
Coach
sir.
Boatman's
Yes,
brought
sir.
his defense in there that they move around all
Yeah.
over the place. They come in from all
Yeah.
different angles. So it
Got you.
really puts a lot of stress on that back end. And, bottom line is they got to grow up. We got
Yeah.
to get better and we got to get better
Yeah.
quickly. And, we don't shy away from that. We understand
Yes,
that they're
sir.
young back there and that's just part of it.
Yeah.
You still got to play.
Yeah.
So, we're challenging all those guys. But like I told you before, we got 8 sophomores, 2028s starting on
Wow.
defense right now. And
Wow.
I think we got, one senior total
One
on defense.
senior on the defense,
One
man.
senior on
Woo!
defense right now.
Growing
So
pains, coach. Growing
it
pains.
is, but they flying around having fun. We made it a
That's
point to
what,
go
yeah.
out and find
There
ways
you
to get
go.
these guys reps to grow them
Yeah.
up. So we took them to camp. We did the referee scrimmage. They've probably played
Yeah.
equivalent to probably 4 or 5 games already this summer. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that was important in the growth. So you're starting to see them light bulbs go off. But,
Yeah.
you can't just name just one. But if I had to,
Yeah.
it
Give me
would
one or
be,
two.
Jadaric Jones would be
Okay.
one.
The Jones kid.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, he's nice in terms of
Yeah.
leadership and what we're looking for. Deshaun
That's what I'm
Smalls
looking
is
for.
another one. Even though he
Small
transferred in
kid.
from Lakeland, he is still, what we're looking
Yeah.
for in this Blue Devil thing. And
Yeah.
Jaden Jones, is another kid that's been with us 3
Okay.
years. And I
Okay.
mean, he's probably 6'2", 220 DN, quick as a cat,
Yeah.
does his thing. So,
Okay.
you got several kids on that side of the ball that are just absolutely bought
Yeah.
into what we doing and they want to get
Yeah.
better.
Yeah. And
Yep.
that's I like the Jones kid too. Now when I mentioned like a Trayon Ellington guys, it's like that. I'm a college football guy. So you see that big
Yep.
old C right there on that linebacker. Like
That's it.
that's the guy. You know what I mean? That's the
Yeah.
captain, right? That's the quarterback of the defense. So I'm always looking for who's my quarterback. You know what I mean? Who's calling play, who sees things before everybody else does. So all right.
For
It's a
sure.
lot of young guys over there for sure. So it'll be a by committee for that
Yeah.
defense for sure. But and last question, coach. Last question about
Yep.
this team, man. Because I'm
Yep.
big on this. You can have
Yep.
your quarterback, running backs, some linebacker headhunters, but you can't do too much at the
Yep.
prep any level without the trenches, man.
Come on.
What's the
That's right.
trenches looking like? Both sides of the ball, obviously, but what's what's that offensive line looking like, coach? Mainly, I want to know what that looks like, and how's it come together throughout the offseason?
We stole a guy, Manny Polito, who came over from Mulberry.
That sounds
And
like the
let me
name.
tell you what, man, this
Oh,
dude
that's
is
my guy. That's
really,
coach. I'm tripping.
yeah, man. He's
Yeah,
done so much for that offensive line, man. He's just breathed
yeah.
life into him and, got him playing with confidence. And, they still, we have our moments where you're like, oh
Yes,
man, come on.
sir.
But that again, that's part of just learning and growing. We got a
For sure.
sophomore, 2 sophomores on the line right now,
Two
and then we got
more
2
28.
upperclassmen returners. Again, there they
God
go, show us face
dang,
again.
man. This 28 class is
And
crazy.
but I think the unit is taking pride. Like
Yeah.
they got goals, and
Yeah.
it's important with what they got behind them. Protecting Mike and
I was like, you
seeing
sure
that
Mike ain't at
Andrew, and
28, coach?
I wish he
Damn,
was.
man.
Uh, but they take pride in making sure that Joker stay clean, man, and
Yeah.
it means
Yeah.
something to him, and he's holding them accountable, and they
Oh,
want to
got to.
see like Andrew and do well,
Yeah.
and Maitwan do well, and they really believe like they can be a 3K offense. Like it's
Sure.
all part of who they are and what they're trying to accomplish. And I'm really gaining more and more confidence with those guys up front and the competition
Yeah.
that's being created. So there can't be any slack or any mishaps
There you
has
go.
been
Yeah, right.
important.
Not
And
behind you. Yeah, yeah,
guy behind you coming. So that
yeah,
part has been important in the development and who we are, the past couple
yeah.
months.
That was a big word you just said, development, man.
Right.
Somebody mentioned the trenches, right? As I said, you can pick up a rock and hit an athlete in Polk County. You know what I mean? Just throw it anywhere
Better
and hit
believe
an
it.
athlete. But it's the trenches, man. I'm big on that. As I look around in Georgia, look around in Texas, even Alabama, man. The
Yeah,
trenches is goddamn crazy. You know what I
that's
mean?
right.
And so in our county specifically, man, if we can do anything we got and give the spotlight to some of the men that are putting their work to our trench guys. You know what I mean? That's
Correct.
going to take our county over the next level. We're going to have an Andrew Simpson. We're going to have a Kearney. You know what I mean? We're going to have some talent. But once
Yeah,
we put our line, you know what I mean? Some Todd Matsadiokas, as I look around the county, some of these big guys, that's going
yeah,
to take our county to the next level. So, all right, man.
right.
Hell of a talk, you know what I mean? But, Coach, let me ask you, man. We looked at your prospects. We talked about your staff and administration a little bit. A lot
For
of
sure.
schools have some whiteboard material, a motto or whatnot, a saying they push, I guess. But what's the identity of this team? You're still young, you know what I mean? Coach Smith said violent, you know what I mean? That was
Yeah,
the identity of
yeah,
this team. Like,
yeah.
what's the identity of this young guy? You got some leadership around it. Kearney's your quarterbacks locked in, like your running backs. But what's the identity of this team, Coach?
Yeah. For us, we preach about it every day. For us to be successful is we got to be physical. That's number one.
Physical.
We got to be the
Yes,
most
sir.
physical team on the field.
There you go.
And
Okay.
number two, you got to be the most disciplined. And with those
Discipline,
two
baby.
things, that gives us the best opportunity to be
Yes, sir.
successful. And, we talked about the 28s all year long.
Yeah.
However, it don't matter if we're not disciplined.
Yeah.
So the more that they get and understand, I just got to do my job. Period.
Yeah.
I don't have to do
Yes,
your
sir.
job. I got to stay in my own 20 square feet and manage my job. And if I can
Yep.
win my battle, we're going to be successful.
Yes,
And,
sir.
that's what we preach. So right now, our theme this year has been, hey, we're standing at a crossroads right now.
Go
So we can go
Crossroads.
left. We can go left. All right. And continue the status quo. Or we
Yeah.
can go right and get this thing fixed.
Get this
And in
thing
order to get
rolling.
this thing fixed, all right, we
Come
got to
on,
be
man.
fast and we got to be disciplined, man. And that's what we got to be physical and we got to be disciplined. And that's what we
Man, I
talk
want
about
to
every
see
single
when
day.
they hit it in the playoffs, dog. Come on, man.
Amen.
All right,
Amen.
Coach.
Amen. We should.
Hey, hold on.
I like us, man.
I'm looking at the schedule, Coach. Woo!
Yeah.
You ain't shy away from comp. Bartow, ZCA. Shots of my dog, Coach King, Lake Region on there. And that's Eagle Lake. That's
Yep.
right there around the corner. I might
Right.
be there for that. My girl stay in Eagle Lake.
Okay.
Osceola. Yeah, my little
Osceola.
plug, right?
Mm-hmm.
God damn, Osceola. Whoa.
Yeah.
God damn. Jenkins, shout out to my alum, you know what I mean? Jenkins.
Yeah.
Your old school
No.
Ridge on there. That's gonna be a little pressure right there.
Yep.
And of
Absolutely.
course, at the end, my brother, Coach Thomas.
Yeah.
The Bloodhounds versus the Blue Devils, man. That's a game right there. When I talk about Lakeland, Kathleen, my old school, I'm a real Pope baby. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
When
man.
over there, that's the shut down the city right there. Two cities right there. We need that to be big time. So
Man,
that might
listen,
be the game right there.
I've heard about it. Everybody talks about it.
It
And
used to
I
be
never
like that.
understood the rivalry piece
Yeah.
I get it now. I
It's
get it
two
now,
cities, man.
and
Y'all own high school
it
right
is
there. You know what I
it's
mean? Y'all
go
own
time.
community, own people. Like
Yeah,
it's I Winter Haven boys versus your Auburndale boy. You know what I mean? Oh, it's I
that's it.
Lakeland boy versus your Catalina boy. You know what I mean? Like
That's
that's how
it.
it needs to be. That's how we
Yep.
grew up. You know what I
And you
mean?
getting
So I
back to
don't
that.
know. We
You
got
getting
to.
back to that, and
Got to, man. We
it's
over
so
here.
close. It's got to
Yeah,
be, man.
yeah,
So
I
it's
know. It happens. You know what I mean? It
shout out to
happens.
them
It
dudes,
does.
man. I wish them the best of luck. I wish them the best of luck, man. Just not
You
on
know what?
Halloween, man.
For sure. And I love my coaches, but hey, I ain't shying away from a little pressure. You know what I mean? So anyway, we can
That's right.
create something in our community, create some energy around that, bring that back. Or we bring some alums back. We bring some of these guys, these Tracy's back. Some of these guys that graduated from Winter Haven that's in the goddamn big leagues. Or we bring Seller Scar, some of these guys back. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
man.
make it big for the county. So I'm turned, man. I'm gonna go ahead and move on for that because I'm passionate about the old school ball, man. We better
Yeah,
not see
man.
y'all boys outside. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It was a little
Yeah,
different back
man.
then. All right.
Yep.
Let me ask you though, coach. Winning, you know what I mean? Winning is the main objective. I like to ask my coaches this. You know what I mean? You if you start losing, the pair is gonna be crazy. Your staff might get a little sour, whatever. You know what I mean? But win is the main
Right.
objective. But I don't care. It's more than that, especially for these young men. So how do you define a successful season, coach? Just beyond the wins, beyond the losses, whether that's getting your academic level up, you know what I mean, or getting kids to the next level, your signing day, making that more big time, or just from your perspective, brother, what does a successful season look like beyond just the wins and the losses and the scoreboards? I know you want to win, but
Yeah, for sure.
answer that for me, brother.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, I think what's important as a leader is if you don't define what success looks like, other people will.
Yes, sir.
And
Wow.
it
Wow.
is important for us to dictate early what we wanted to accomplish. And we
Yes,
just
sir.
set little goals, man. Like, listen, we want to go undefeated in Denison Stadium. So
Wow.
that's important to us. And yeah, it goes back to winning and losing.
Yeah.
We want to have a team GPA of 3.0 or better. Like, that's
Yeah.
important to us.
Man, there you go, coach.
We want to make the playoffs. We want to be district champions.
Playoff. There you
Like
go.
there's nothing wrong with that. We want to host
There's
a
nothing wrong
playoff
with
game.
that.
There's nothing wrong with that. And these are all the things that needs to be expected at Winter Haven. That's the standard of what we're
There
trying
you
to
go.
accomplish.
There you go,
And
coach.
so those are the things that we laid out. That's successful to us. And anything
Yes,
under that,
sir.
I won't say underachieve because I don't want them
Right.
to put themselves in that bubble. But that's what we pushing for, and that's what we practicing for every single day. When we
Yes,
first
sir.
got there, it was behavior. Like, all right, man, we want to
Yeah.
make sure that we shine the brightest light on you when you walk out of here. Whether that's and that's no disrespect to anybody. That's just how we doing things
Yes,
at
sir.
Winter Haven. Like we tell them, like,
Yeah.
look, bro, like you ain't coming outside with no bonnet on your head when you go to class. We don't do that.
Pull your
Like we
pants up, man.
pull your pants up, slides, like all of that stuff. Remember what I
Oh,
told you?
man.
I want people to look at you in a light to where you are respected and they're not judging
Yeah.
you. That's
Right.
important to me. That's
Right.
important. When a Blue Devil walk in a room, they understand, oh yeah, that's a football player. Not,
Yes, sir.
oh yeah, that's a football player. There's a difference between the two.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
all
sir.
of that stuff, and we've got that fixed. All of that's fixed. Like you don't have no
Man.
issues with our kids on campus. They act like they're supposed to. They carry themselves like they're
Wow.
supposed to. Now let's get the football piece fixed. And
Yes,
I
sir.
think that we headed in the right direction of what you heard to get all of
Yeah.
those things accomplished. But we got
Yeah.
goals that we're striving for and we're trying to accomplish. And we ain't hiding that from anybody. We'll post it all over the place. Like these are
Yes,
what we're
sir.
trying to get done. And
Man.
luckily for us, we get a vote on whether that gets done or not. And that's how we go about
Wow.
our business every day.
Man, that was huge right now. I'm gonna repeat it one more time. Are you gonna when you walk around with that Winter Haven gear on, are they gonna say that's a football player right there? Or that's a football player, knucklehead, man. What they gonna say, man? So that was I like that. I like how you worded that, coach. So and let me close this out real here with my last question for you when it goes to Winter Haven, brother. The culture moving forward, man, for the people that's tapped in, your young guys, the people that's looking on the outside in, they hear you. Coach White can talk, boy, for real. But for my parents, my administrators, what can they expect from Winter Haven this year, Coach? What can they expect when they see that logo come out, when the Blue Devils come out that first week? What can they expect from you guys throughout the season, man? Talk to us, Coach.
Yeah, again, my whole thing is physical.
Yeah.
and we're going to be disciplined.
Yes,
If
sir.
we can
There you
get
go.
that done, we'll accomplish everything that I just mentioned.
There you go.
And, regardless of what that looks like, man, we always going to be class.
Class.
That
Oh,
WH, that WH is going to
man.
be before everybody. And that's what we're going to
Yes, sir.
represent everywhere we go. Every
Yes, sir.
restaurant, every classroom, every bus ride, locker room visit, you're going to see class. That's important to
Wow.
me. And again, these young men being shined in a bright light, no matter where they come from, what they look like. I want them to be held in a high regard and get the respect
Yes,
they deserve.
sir. Yes,
And the
sir.
only way that I know how to do that is how you carry yourself. And we're going to carry ourselves with class. And
Man.
that's that period. So that's what they can come to expect. And I hope the byproduct of that is the scoreboard at the end of the day. It's not the most
Right.
important.
For sure.
It's not
For
the
sure.
most important. But I think it's a byproduct
Yeah.
of being the best you can be every single day.
Yeah. Very, very important, right? And as you said, every action has a consequence, as my mom say. The more right actions you do, will lead to better consequences, or lead to better circumstances. So let me close out, coach, because as you see, I'm done. I done talked for a while. Damn. But this right here was the episode we needed, bro. You know what I mean? We had, me and coach done a lot to make this one work for real. You feel me? But I needed this one on because I know coach can talk. You know what I mean? I know he has a wealth of knowledge, and I know Winter Haven is brewing, dog. As I'm a Polk County guy, as I say, like these are cities that are right there that got the booster clubs, that got the administration, that got a hell of a head coach, that got a staff, and got hidden gym type, blue collar type, hungry type kids. Like that's what Winter Haven is like. So they right there. And I know coach has a good talks about what it like. He represents why we should pay these coaches more. Like, what does it look like? Like, damn, people question like, why we got to pay? Because I know teachers and whatnot, people asking like, but these guys, man, these are the guys that are creating. Man, do you not hear, coach? You ain't hit the like button yet, man. I don't know what else coach got to say. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. These are the prime examples of coaches I want to bring on to represent that. But takeaways from tonight, man. Coach going to year 4 for you, brother. Man, this you got a lot brewing. You got a lot of ingredients for success. That's what I'll say.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Your quarterback growth, to see his transition, to see his confidence, his leadership. He's demanding excellence, I feel like, from his teammates. So that's what he needs in that locker room. They need to look up the mic and say, okay, that's the guy we rolling with. Your defense looking good. You know what I mean? 2028 is crazy. Like, I don't know. I haven't got damn. He kept naming 28s. I thought Mike was a 28 at one point.
I wish.
Yeah, I know, brother.
Yeah,
man.
Brother.
The youth is crazy. So they're definitely building something, and the foundation and the coach has already been set. Coach White ain't playing. Yep. You know what I mean? Y'all go out there for yourself. You go out to Denison before the season starts. It's a professional atmosphere. You know what I mean? It ain't no knuckleheadness going on. So I appreciate that from coach. And he got a clear vision of where he want his program to be. Some of you coaches watching, you might need by 5-10 years from now, if that's where it's looking like for coach, keep him in your mind. But all right, coach, let's go ahead and close out, man. We had a hell of an episode, but I can't let you out of here without Drew's Fast Five. I can't let you out of here. I got 5 quick questions for you. This is what I do for my coaches, man. Y'all are human beings. Coach done gave y'all a coach speak the whole time. Let's let his hair down a little bit. You know, you've been good, dog. Coach, you know what I mean? Coach transparent. That's what I like about him. You know what I mean? But let's go ahead and let's get into his mind a little bit. All right, coach, first question. Who's your favorite athlete? Who made you fall in love with sports? Like, who's your favorite athlete, brother?
My uncle, man. My uncle Jared.
Ooh,
and you know, I come from, my dad was an alternate in the Olympics. So we come from a line of dudes, man. So,
man,
it's really, really cool.
Amateur, man. Dang,
man, but my uncle Jared, like he was the one for us, all of us nephews, man, to like, all right, that's the standard right there. Like that's the one we chasing. And, he did his thing, ended up being in a car wreck, man, and broke his neck. But, he was the standard that all of us, but he's the one who like, oh, dang, like everybody was in awe of that Joker, man, growing up.
Like, oh, man.
Yeah, man. So he was the one who planted the seed, man. So I'm sorry, it's not some big name dude, man, but You
Nah,
know,
man,
my
that's
uncle,
what
man, he
that's
mean
that,
everything to
that
us.
type of guy you are. I wouldn't expect nothing else. You know what I mean? Come on, dog.
Yeah,
That's
man. My
cool.
uncle was a dude.
That's a good story. Your aunt, man. Shouts out to
You
aunt for
better
sure.
believe
But
it.
all right, coach. We hear the accent, East Texas boy.
Yep.
What's coach like to eat on though, man? You know what I mean? Down here, what's coach like to eat on? You feel me? Post game, whatever, man. What's coach be grubbing on?
For sure, man. Listen, I'm plain Jane. My wife gets on me all the time for not
Uh-oh.
trying nothing,
Me
man.
too.
But
Me too, dog.
you know, my
Why you
favorite
get
meals
it, bro?
come from my dad, for sure. Like I ain't eating ketchup. I don't like none of that stuff.
I ain't never
But
tried ketchup, dog. Don't let
that's
me get
so
on here and
nasty
embarrass myself, dog.
because it's nasty. But I like red beans and rice, man, pork
Oh, there you
chops,
go.
like all of that
Okay.
stuff, man. That's what my dad, we
Okay.
grew up on, man, like neck bones and all that
Yeah.
stuff. So that's what we
Come
grew
on,
up on,
dog.
man.
That's
That's where
South
I'm
baby.
at,
Neck
man. But
bones
yeah,
and rice. Come on, dog.
green,
On
that's
day.
what we grew up on. That's right.
All right. All right. All right, coach. Just gonna tell us, man, who your favorite teams and stuff is and whatnot. But all right. One
Yeah.
stadium, coach, one game. You could teleport to one game, coach. Who's
Yeah.
playing and who and what stadium?
Yep. So let me start off and say I'm a Clemson fan through and through. I'm gonna start there.
Oh man, dang.
So I'm a
All right,
Clemson
coach.
guy through and through, man.
Dang.
Shout
All
out to
right,
my
he's still a
boys at
good guy.
Clemson.
He's still a good guy.
Uh,
Dabo's over
but
there, so all right.
Dabo is doing his thing.
He's a
But
great
for
guy, coach.
me,
Man.
one game I'd love to see would be Michigan, Ohio State in Michigan.
Yeah.
In
Man,
Michigan. That would be one I'd like to see.
You know your college football. You a college football guy, NFL?
I'm a college guy. I don't really watch that much NFL. I'm a college guy through and through, man.
I'm a college guy, guys. I'm sorry, man. So any of those big time old school Ohio States, Michigans, like those were because I told Coach, I'm a Florida State. I'm born and raised. You know what I mean? Shouts out to Clemson. Shouts out to Taj Boy. I was out there with them. Dabo's a great guy.
There you go.
EJ Spiller. You know what I mean? I grew up watching those guys play my nose. So, but man, if I could get my eyes on some of those, like I never experienced no Ohio State, Michigan, like them old school. So
rivalry. Yep. I like the bad blood. I mean? Yes.
Yeah. Well, even Alabama, Auburn. You know what I mean? Those are big time too. You know what I mean? They go back to
that'd be one
poison plants and whatnot. So
that would be one.
Yep. All right.
Exactly.
Coach. All right. It was from a college football fans, man. I'm a real deal college football fan for real.
All right. For sure.
All right, Coach. 24 hours. You and wifey don't woke up. You don't check the bank account. Well, it's about 10 million in there. I don't know what done happened. You know, hit the lottery.
Yeah.
What's the first thing you buying, Coach? Like what and how you spending your day, brother? What you doing, Coach?
Hey, listen, you know, my dad used to always say, man, show me your money, show where your heart is, dog. So
you gonna keep it, Coach. You gonna keep it professional.
Yeah, man. So, you know, I think of course, you know, you want to make sure your kids are set up. You know, they don't have to worry about nothing. They still gotta work, but you want to make sure they okay.
Yeah, put a little trust
you know, and then after that, man, make sure my kids are good. You know, if I got something to help my family with, you know, we're gonna make sure they taken care of. And you know, that's the main thing. You know, we go to Haven Worship over here, so we'll definitely make sure they taken care of. They've been really good.
Ministry.
To
I know you want to
us,
get back into that, Coach.
Better believe it, man. And you know, that's part of it too. So again, I want to make sure our heart, and number one, we being good stewards with it and making sure we being responsible with it and not just go crazy. So make sure God is proud of what we're doing with it as well. So that would be a big piece of that. And anything we got left, we'll make sure we go do it right. We'll do it right.
All right, man. Hey, I love Coach White, man. But hey, dog, I need that new crib. I need a new bed. I need a new bed. I need something, dog.
Hey, you know what? The good thing, cool, man, that God has blessed us with, man, is we doing good now. So that's good, man. I'm blessed right now. Right. I'm so blessed. I've been blessed with the ability of contentment, man. Yeah, for sure.
Put a new training facility out there in Winter Haven, dog. That'll be big.
Hey, listen, give me an indoor facility so we can beat this wet bulb and this lightning, and I'm good.
That, I already don't pay y'all enough, dog. Damn, they ain't getting no
least.
They ain't doing that.
No, they not. They not at all.
Hey, I know it's hot. I know it's good weather, but man, Florida, we need some indoors. It's finna start raining out of nowhere. I'm telling
Man,
y'all.
and this
It's
heat
gonna
is
wait all the
killing
way
them.
to Friday at 7 p.m. It's gonna start raining. I
Hmm.
don't know what it
Yeah,
is. So if we can use a couple indoors, coach. All right.
that's right. Give me something. Pole barn, I'll
Something.
take it.
Let me ask you though, coach. I know you ministry and whatnot, but if you weren't
Yeah,
coaching, brother, never
yeah.
got into sports, like what interests you outside of sports? Like what do you do? What's your hobbies? What do you like doing outside of sports, coach?
Do you know? So, I would love. My friend Brad Ball turned me on to NASCAR, and
No way.
yes, he
All
did.
right.
So he is a NASCAR official,
Okay.
and he is. I got involved, went to a race, thought I would
Yeah.
hate it, but I just went to support him and do his thing.
Okay.
And golly, man, it's just so cool to be around that. And
And
I'm
Coach
a really
White
big
got a little
Bubba
Bubba
Wallace
Wallace in
fan.
him.
You better believe
He
it.
got a little
So
Bubba Wallace in
listen,
him, dog.
my
He's
daddy's
mint
black, my
green,
mama
dog.
white. Come on. So I gotta support people that look like me, right?
Yeah, for
But no,
sure,
I
for
think
sure.
if I could have another gig besides this one, man, I would love to work in the diversity section of NASCAR to keep growing the
Man,
brand for different folks. I just
that's
think it's
crazy.
NASCAR is a cool venue and a cool sport. And
Yeah.
you look in the stands and you don't see people that look like you, but you get
Oh,
behind the
come on,
curtain and
man.
behind the wall on the pit stop, and you see a lot
Never.
of folks that look like you. So
Yeah.
I think that would be a great gig, man. And I'm so passionate about the sport
Man,
and the people
that's
that's in
crazy,
it. So
coach.
yeah, I would definitely love to be a part of the diversity piece in NASCAR and help grow the sport, man, to different communities.
Man, coach, as you keep building on your resume, you know what I mean, with your FCC and whatnot, and just over the years, brother, as we talk about not putting the kids in the box. Hey, man, who's to say Coach White won't do something like that in 10 years, man? Who's
You
not to say
never
you're
know,
not the
man.
executive guy leading the diversity room? You know what I mean? Like that's something big time, man. That's awesome,
Yeah,
brother.
man.
So, dang, man, that's a gem for y'all. I ain't no coach with no NASCAR type guy. You feel me? I don't know. You know
Bubba
me,
through and
dog.
through,
Growing up,
man.
we watch NASCAR like, man, what is that? But as I get older, I like X
Yeah,
sports, extreme sports like that. I like to get in the car. I
right.
like to do a little racing, little go-kart racing and
Hmm.
stuff like that. So it interests
Yeah.